Hey guys, glad you could make it. Welcome to my first metal collection video, and on this channel I'm just going to be talking about my metal collection. I decided to do that out of interest, just after seeing some other YouTubers talking about similar things, and it was appealing to me, so I've decided to do it too. You want to know a little bit more detail, you can check out my introduction video, but just to recap, I'm going to be going through my collection, CDs and vinyls separately, in alphabetical order, and just show you what I have. I will say I've seen a lot of YouTubers that have a lot of cutting edge underground new releases, really impressive, and I've discovered a lot of bands through that. My collection is a bit different. It's more a mixed bag of just the stuff I've accumulated over the time I've been a fan. So there's some newer releases, also some older ones, various subgenres, so I think it's a little bit different, but you'll see for yourself as I go through. I did say I was going to go through in alphabetical order, which is true, but since this is the first collection video, I thought I'd do something different and just show you my most recent purchases. The reason being that it's a pretty eclectic mix of bands and genres, so it'll give you some indication of what you can expect to find on this channel. I was recently on holiday in Greece, had an amazing time there, amazing place. And for the last couple of nights, I spent some time in Athens. I found a metal shop in the middle of the city called Metal Era and went shopping basically. So they had a pretty wide range of releases, good selections at good prices compared to where I'm living. So I decided to take advantage. So there you go. So that's what I'll be talking about to start with today, dividing it up into two videos, the CDs and the vinyl, because I don't want to take too long and bore you with all the details. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first one, I got an appropriate place to start. This is Anvil with Metal on Metal. So Anvil is of course a band which needs no introduction, well established in the metal scene. Canadian band, they've been around since about 1978, so shit ton of releases of albums. They've gained popularity since the making of that documentary, which is this one, Anvil the movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Really interesting story, talks about the band's history and their progression to where they are today. I really enjoyed it. That's where I learned about a lot of their music. The first song being Metal on Metal, which is at the beginning, good. And then the other song which I really liked on that was This Is 13, which was the album they were making. And you see footage of them in the studio in England recording that, and I just thought, oh, this sounds really good, so got me interested in Anvil. So the first album I bought was This Is 13, which I really like. That's a great album from, a few years ago. And when I was in Japan last year, I bought a vinyl copy of Forged in Fire, which is great. And then finally I got this one. So have heard some tracks before, really not a lot to say. You guys know Anvil probably, but the title track, as I said, is really fun, really catchy. This band sounds so heavy. I love the production, and what I also think is interesting is they're pretty diverse. It's not a linear band. They sometimes have like melodic poppy songs, sometimes they have very straightforward 100% metal songs and various tempos. It's just interesting, and the vocals are quite diverse too. Like Lips's lead vocals, he just doesn't, it's not singing in monotone. There's all different kinds of voices. Well, that's what I hear anyway. So really like this album. But some of my favorites are the title track, also Stop Me. That's one that really stood out. That's sort of got a poppier side to it, but really catchy song. And also Heatsink, Tag Team. But yeah, they're all good. So yeah, if you haven't heard this for whatever reason, you probably have. It's a great album, so check it out. Comes in a digipack. Just fold out digipack like that. Cool artwork. Very happy with this. Anvil, Metal on Metal. Yeah. Now, being in Greece, I couldn't go without buying some Greek black metal. So here I have a double album by Greece's most legendary and famous black metal band, I think. This is Rotting Christ. They've got two albums, Passage to Arturo, which I believe is an EP, and Non Serviam, which is one of their most famous albums, I should say. So I've known about this band for a long time. They're also well established in the black metal scene as one of the earliest ones. standing out as a bit different because they're from Greece. In the early 2000s, a buddy of mine from the States, Ken, what's up, Ken? He copied me the entire discography of this band on tape, and that's where I really got my first exposure to them. And I was really impressed because they're a very diverse, melodic, atmospheric band. So really liked them. There were certain albums which really grabbed me, and I've just sort of taken it from there. This one, I was very happy to get this because these are two of the best releases in my opinion from the early days. Passage to Arcturo, which is the EP, I think. That's got this very sort of raw, in-your-face production, so it immediately commands your attention, and the bass is very audible, which is great, unusual for a lot of bands. The vocals are kind of guttural, almost like death metal in a raw kind of way, but it fits the music perfectly. For those who don't know Rotting Christ, the riffs and melodies, they're just infectious. They have these hooks and they stick in your head, so it creates a great atmosphere, and this is all heightened by the keyboards. So Passage to Arcturo, great release. My favorite tracks, The Old Coffin Spirit, that's got some atmospheric and haunting keyboards and melody, excellent song. Also, continuing down that path is a song called The Forest of Ngai or Nagai, don't know how to pronounce that, but also a very good song. Vicious Joy and Black Delight is also great. Also, one of my favorite songs by this band of all time is on the release, which is Gloria de Domino Inferni, which is like a Greek classical piano track. So it's dominated by pianos, and it's got this very kind of grand melody with a very Greek sounding atmosphere, some guitars in the background, and it's a kind of hymn or chant in Latin, really just so atmospheric. And I remember when I heard this years ago, that was a song which really stood out to me, so also fantastic. Then you have the second release, Non Serviam. This is considered one of their most legendary releases. It continues down the same path, but it's even more melodic. So again, great riffs and melodies, and a lot of sort of chugging riffs and bouncy syncopation. Once again, they have these excellent majestic keyboards over the top, which just create this really powerful atmosphere, which I love. So it's not quite symphonic, but in certain parts, yes, but not like Emperor Symphonic. It's a bit different. Like, as Sarkis said, the Greek style of black metal, it's different to the Scandinavian style. It's not as aggressive, it's more soulful and melodic, but yeah, diversity is a great thing, so I think this band really stands out. First three tracks are awesome, just can't beat them. Non Serviam, Wolfberg the Jackal, it's got a great atmospheric melody. Non Serviam, again, very grand, symphonic and dramatic. And Ice Shaped God, very good song, but again, this band, they haven't really released a bad album, so it's just a question of which tracks are better. Very happy to have this. Inside, you've got the 2 CDs, and also in the booklet they show the original artworks, but I'm not going to pull that out now. You know what they look like. If for some reason you've never listened to this band, definitely give them a chance. And they've had a really wide range of releases over the years. They've gone in all sorts of directions, but they've retained their own sound. So check them out. Rotting Christ with Passage to Arcturo and Non Serviam. Okay, so the last CD I got, again, another band which needs no introduction. We have Running Wild with Under Jolly Roger. For those who don't know, Running Wild is a German heavy metal band. Some people have labeled them power metal. It doesn't really sound like that to me. It's more like a cross between traditional heavy metal and thrash metal, or very sort of aggressive, hard heavy metal. But however you label it, it just sounds great. Like explosive, full of energy, no holds barred, fantastic riffs. Vocal style is unique as well. So if you just like good, hard, solid heavy metal, Running Wild is a great band. The person who introduced me to this band a few years ago was actually my brother, and he showed me that song Bad to the Bone, and really liked that song. And then a few years ago I found a secondhand copy of Pile of Skulls, which is a great album too, and just moved on from there. So my brother showed me a greatest hits compilation where they've got all the famous kind of songs, so that's where I heard Under Jolly Roger, the title track from this, and also Raise Your Fist, which is just an amazing song, like pure energy, really hard and fast kind of song, and just pounding, rocking, heavy, very anthemic sing-along pre-chorus and chorus, so it's just great song. Also, another one which really stood out for me on this one was Raw Ride, which has just some heavy crunching riffs. That's where you see the thrashier side of this band. Under Jolly Roger, the riff in the chorus, it's sort of reminiscent of a riff in a Metallica song. Which one? Fade to Black. You know, tiddlin, tiddlin, tiddlin. Yeah, they've got that in this, so it sounded very familiar. But Under Jolly Roger is a great heavy track as well. And Beggar's Night, nice guitar solo. No bad tracks on this again. You can see here, it's in a digipack, double CD, and there's a booklet inside. I'm not going to pull that out. It's just got lyrics and background, that kind of thing. So disc 2, it contains a whole load of bonus tracks, and they are re-recorded versions, alternative versions, remasters, that kind of thing. Yeah, just a nice addition for fans of this band as part of the re-releases. That's the last CD for today. That's Running Wild with Under Jolly Roger. So with this haul, this purchase that I made, I also got 2 records, 2 vinyls, but I don't want these videos to go on for too long, so I'll show you those in the next video from my Athens shopping spree. Okay guys, so thanks for sticking around and for watching this video. Hopefully that gives you some idea about what to expect in these videos. Hopefully you comment, like, and subscribe. There'll be more stuff coming. Next video I'm going to do the 2 records I got, and then after that I'll start in alphabetical order with my collection. So any comments, questions, suggestions, let me know in the comments. That'll be cool. And that's about it. So see you in the next video. Thanks.